Passover is about 4 weeks away, and I know no matter when it lines up with the secular calendar, it can feel like it's early this year. No matter how well prepared we are, a kind of Jewish nesting hormone can kick in, and we begin planning and cleaning and preparing and storing and shopping and stashing and fretting. And well, if none of these have happened to you, there's still probably a yearning somewhere in you for winter to end and spring to begin. I know the maples in my yard are beginning to share their sweet waters with us, and that my body, heart, and mind are beginning to thaw and come out of hibernation. So the Mishnah in Psachim, the oldest layer in the oral tradition of the early rabbinic period, teaches, and this appears in our Haggadah, Bechol dor vador chayav adam lirot et atzmo cheilu hu yatsa mimitzrayim. In each and every generation, a person must view themselves as though they personally left Egypt. As it is written, V'higadeta levincha bayom hahu lemor, ba'avor zeh asa havaya li b'tzeti mimitzrayim. You shall tell your child on that day, it says in the book of Exodus, Sefer Shmot, it is because of this which Hashem did for me when I came forth out of Egypt. So the Mishnah is doing a very literal reading that it's not just then, it's not just a historical fact, but in each and every generation, Bechol dor vador, the Seder and the process of Passover and this whole preparation process is to make that story, that mythical story, something really personal, really present, really visceral, really felt. Now, about 1,000 years later, the Hasidic master known as Rabbi Nachman of Breslov, in his inimitable way, repunctuates the verse. He basically says, Bechol dor vador chayav adam lirot et atzmo, that if a person sees themselves, that this is ki'ilu hu yatsa mimitzrayim, that the act of accurate self-awareness, of self-seeing, lirot et atzmo, to see ourselves, is like going out of Mitzrayim, going out of Egypt. And we translate that word as a place, but for the Kabbalistic and the Hasidic psycho-spiritual reading of the word Mitzrayim, Meitzarim are the narrows, min ha-meitzar, from the narrows I call out, Anani b'merchav ya, answer me from the expanse. So let's take a moment to start this inner table setting, to prepare our internal altar for the transformations possible at the time of Chag HaAviv. Passover is also called the holiday of spring, our springtime Seder. There are traditionally 4 cups of wine and a 5th one set aside for Elijah and or Miriam, the prophetess. These 4 cups can become imaginal containers that we use for lirot et atzmo, to see ourselves, to really see ourselves. The cup of the body, the cup of mind, the cup of soul, the cup of community, and the cup of the environment or the world. So if this feels comfortable to you, and it may not for everyone, I invite you to close your eyes as I lead a gentle guided journey to examine each of these vessels. And after we briefly go through each one of them, we'll sit in silence together. And I'll bring us back together with a song. So take a moment to imagine the cup of the body, a vessel, a wine glass, a goblet, or something that can contain the idea of the physical, your physical self and physical preparation. In what way does this vessel, this image, this cup, this kos feel ready to receive? Are there aspects in the physical? Is your physical cup gorgeous or a little cracked? Or is the little crack in it quite gorgeous? In what ways might you want to prepare in the physical world, physical realm for Passover? In what way might you deepen your seeing of yourself in the body? Now a second cup. Maybe it looks just like the first, but this cup may take another form, the cup of the mind. And I say mind to include the heart as well, the lev, place of emotions and insight and intuition. The mind of Pesach, the mind of the Seder, the mind of liberation. In what way is your hachana, your preparation, or your intention for the season of liberation connected with the mind? Does your mind need some soothing or some stimulation? Is the cup of your heart overflowing or underfilled? What can you learn just by spending a moment now imagining the shape of the cup of the heart-mind? And now a third cup for soul. Neshama, Ruach, Chaya, Yechida, Nefesh. On whatever level the soul, your relationship with the divine, how's that cup look and feel? How does a chalice for soulfulness feel in your hands? Or what size is it? What does it contain? Maybe it's been stored away. Maybe it needs a polish or a dusting off, or it's in need of repair, or perhaps it's a newfound gift. You didn't even realize you had this precious heirloom. Sitting for a moment with the cup of the soul. And now a kos for community. I know last year's Seder and probably this one are unlike any other Seders of our entire lives with this pandemic. What is the cup of community, and in what ways are you filling it? What ways would you like to fill it for Passover this year? In what ways do you give and receive from community? Where are your communities on the planet? What is the shape of the gviyah, the chalice of community right now? In the fifth cup, we can imagine opening the door for Eliyahu Hanavi or Miriam Haniviyah and opening our minds out to the cup of the world, of our relationship with nature and our environment, perhaps the entire cosmos. How are you supported by the rivers and mountains, the air and the fire, the water of the world? What does the cup of the world in preparation for Pesach look like, feel like? Or how do you sense it in this moment? And now with these 5 cups of body, mind, soul, community, and world, we'll have a chance to go into some silence together. You may have discovered something surprising or interesting about that Seder, that inner table, that inner altar. And you can use the silence and the container of this community to lirot et atzmo, to really go in to see yourself as coming out of Egypt. Bechol dor vador, bechol dor vador, bechol dor vador, chayav adam lirot et atzmo. Bechol dor vador, bechol dor vador, bechol dor vador, chayav adam lirot et atzmo. והגדת לבנך ביום ההוא לאמור, ביום ההוא לאמור, בעבור זה עשה הוויה לי. והגדת לבנך ביום ההוא לאמור, ביום ההוא לאמור, בעבור זה עשה הוויה לי. Every generation, every breath, bechol dor vador, every revision of who we think we are, bechol dor vador, chayav adam lirot et atzmo, look at yourself with love, bechol dor vador, bechol dor vador, bechol dor vador, chayav adam lirot et atzmo, see yourself with kindness. והגדת לבנך ביום ההוא לאמור, ביום ההוא לאמור, בעבור זה עשה הוויה לי. For the sake of this very moment, והגדת לבנך ביום ההוא לאמור, ביום ההוא לאמור, בעבור זה עשה הוויה לי. היי די דה דה דה, היי היי דה דה, הנדן די דה 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 דה, היי הנדן דה 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 דה, היי הנדן דה 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 דה. הגדת לבנך ביום ההוא לאמור, ביום ההוא לאמור, בעבור זה עשה הוויה לי. So whatever narrows we're coming through, whatever dark passages we may find ourselves in, we can always say, Ba'avor zeh, for the sake of this moment, for the sake of this awareness, the Holy One of Blessing is with us, is for us, is by us. May it be a season of filling up all of our cups, or pouring out what no longer serves us to make room for new inspiration. Chag Sameach.